mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me,
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Tom Ritchie, and this is Woodstock. Joining me for this episode is Nikki Morris, founder and owner of the Reform Room in Woodstock. Nikki, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Tom?
Awesome. It's not like we don't know each other. I got a little note this morning that said, don't talk about children.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Avoid topics with children involved. Nikki may have a little bit of a struggle with graduation coming up and these things.
Oh my God, Tom, you're talking about children right now. I am. I'm having a bit of a, yeah. Our oldest is graduating grade 8. He's starting high school next year, obviously. And yeah, I'm having a bit of a harder time with it than I expected. But I don't know why I didn't expect it, because when he started JK, I was an absolute disaster. So it's like all over again.
8 years later.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. Ashton's graduating, 18, and I'm like sitting in the audience. I'm like, oh my God, he made it. I don't know if it's a tear because he made it or my little boy's getting old.
Yeah.
Which means I'm getting old.
Right.
Nikki,
that's so funny though that Brady sent that to you.
I love having all these little connections outside of my my guests. That way I get the details and the dirt.
Yes.
Let's first start, Nikki. I know you. I know the Reform Room, and it's been a huge success thus far. But let's start first with, who is Nikki Morris?
Who is Nikki Morris? Well, I'm the founder of Reform Room, which is a Pilates studio that opened. It'll actually be a year tomorrow. So tomorrow's our birthday.
Oh, look at this. We planned this perfectly.
We really did. Yeah. So yeah, we opened a year ago. We have 10 reformers in the space. We've got 27 classes on the schedule. We've got, including myself, there's 4 instructors. So yeah, I mean, that's one answer to that question.
it's one. Yeah, I'm sure you could go a multitude of ways. So business owner, entrepreneur, mother, wife, so many things there. Was entrepreneurship always the plan for you, Nikki? Like, is it, I know this a little bit just because of the conversations we've had, but I'd like the audience to understand this, because so many sit back and they're like, I want to start a business. I want to be an entrepreneur. I can't work for anyone else. Right. Was it always part of the grand master plan for you that you want to break out and do this yourself?
No, definitely not. No, I never saw myself as an entrepreneur up until, well, that's not true. So my original plan, like going to school and getting out of school, was I worked in hotels. I worked in the hotel industry. So I kind of worked my way up to a management position in the hotel industry, but then we just found it too difficult for us both to be working a 9-to-5 and raise the kids. It is very difficult to do that. And also that's not the lifestyle that we wanted. So once our youngest was born, who's 11 now, I stepped away from the hotel industry. And that's actually when I got my real estate license, which is something that we have in common also.
Yeah.
So I became a realtor in Woodstock. Actually, my first year was out in Waterloo. And then I was in Woodstock for 6 years as a realtor. And that was kind of where I started. I mean, it is entrepreneurial, being a real estate agent, right? Yeah, like, you have to be a self-starter, and you're in charge of your own business. So, and you don't really have to answer to anyone, depending on what, kind of what route you take in that industry. So, so then I had years of that. And so when I tried to get back into having a job, it didn't go that well. I mean, I did fine, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I found it difficult to just not do whatever I wanted, which sounds bad, but I mean, if I'm being real, that's kind of what happened. Yeah. So then, I mean, Brady's always been the entrepreneur, right? So I just, he's always had that in him. He's never been okay with someone telling him what to do and working underneath somebody. So I've always just been like, he's the entrepreneur, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And so, and then this happened, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing for sure.
Yeah. After all the preparation, planning, investment, and then you finally, okay, this is it. For those that are unfamiliar with the Reform Room and who you are, you and Brady obviously moved to Woodstock, 13 years ago? How long ago was it?
Yeah, it was in 2013.
2013.
Yep, so 13 years ago.
Yeah. And we're glad you did, obviously. When, I've got so many questions moving into what's that like when both, parents, husband, wife, are entrepreneurs in a family and how you manage that. But I am curious, like so hospitality industry, working hotels, and I know what it's like, moving into real estate, you're your own boss to a certain degree, but you have the flexibility, you eat what you kill, right? And which means you have to be hunting consistently if you want to see some sort of income. But I'm just curious, what was it? Because you've got a bunch of certifications in fitness and personal training. What was it that eventually you said? Because to me, when I saw, Reformer Pilates, I'm like, wait, hold on, Pilates? What's for Reformer Pilates? And then I see these contraptions and I'm like, okay, this is medieval. Yeah. This is medieval, I think. No. But what was it that you're like, Woodstock needs this? This is something that we definitely need here, because to my knowledge, I think you're the only Reformer Pilates studio that exists.
In Woodstock, yes.
In Woodstock, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so Reformer Pilates, it's an extension of Pilates. So a lot of people have done mat Pilates. Reformer Pilates, it's on an apparatus or a contraption called the Reformer, and the Reformer can add challenge, or it can be more supportive depending on the exercise that you're doing. So actually, a lot of the things that we do on the Reformer is it's the same thing that you would be doing in mat Pilates, but it's actually made a little bit easier because of the Reformer. But then it can go the other way too, where things can be a lot harder. Yeah.
I think it can get a lot harder if you crank up the tension.
Yes, exactly. And we like to get creative. I mean, it's having its moment, right? It's definitely becoming more popular. And I wanted to try it. And I was actually, at the time when I started really hearing about it, like I've done Pilates for years and years. So I was very, very familiar with mat Pilates already. I had never been on a Reformer, and I was trying to get into some classes in London, and it was really hard. I was looking out at the schedule like a month in advance to try to get into a class, and I couldn't book in. So I was just like, okay, again, entrepreneurial household. So I'm just kind of like, that's interesting. And then, I mean, fitness has always been something that I've been super passionate about, like from the time I was a child. So it just made a lot of sense. And thankfully I have a spouse who is supportive of entrepreneurial endeavors and, spending, it was an investment, obviously, to start this. And there's that element of risk and that goes along with starting something like this. But because he is comfortable with entrepreneurship and you have to spend money to make money. So I had that support from him. So it just kind of, we went into it just headlong and and have not regretted it for 1 second.
Yeah. There's two things from there. So one, it doesn't hurt that he's handy. What's the red green thing? If they can't find you handsome, they need to find you handy or something like that.
He's both.
I was gonna say, yeah. So you got both. Lucky Nikki. But they, one of the things in business and especially entrepreneurship is they always say that your success is found where frustration and passions collide or cross-sect. And so you're looking at, background in fitness. You've been doing this for a long time. And then you try to get in, you can't get into a class. I can't get into a class. There must be a demand for this. So, which obviously I don't follow that side of fitness. So there must have been a rise of it, obviously. But for me, I just look at it and go, that's pretty cool. And I think that it would still be cool to get a lot of the masters as what we call the old boys doing jujitsu in there to try a class out.
It needs to happen. We need to do it.
We need to do it. I think so many look at it and go, I could do that. What is that? I'm laying down. That's not so hard. Until they do it. And then it's like, whoa, hold on. I quit. It's like we took up yoga and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if this is doing
we
more
need
harm or what.
We need to do it. We need a collab and we need to film it.
Yeah, definitely film it. The outtakes would be hilarious. So, during that, obviously you see a demand, then you see a need, potential gap. At what point did you go, okay, we're doing this, Brady, let's go. Let's like, where along that journey and that thought process was it, we've got to do this 100%?
Yeah, it was definitely a process. I'm the type of person, and Brady will attest to this, where if I get an idea, I can be a little bit annoying about it. I'll be like, it has to happen right now. Like, and he's usually the one that's like, let's hold on and just kind of, and see. So we came up with the idea in around September, October 2024. So we opened last year. So it was, and so we really we ran all the numbers and we were like, okay, yeah, this actually could be something. And then we incorporated in October. I purchased the domain for reformroom.ca in October. So spent a little bit of money, but not a lot at that time. Yeah. It was like $1,500 all in for that kind of stuff. I started like looking, like designing a logo and that kind of stuff.
That's where we all start. Yeah, we got an idea, logo time.
Yeah, the fun stuff, right? Coming up with a name and all that stuff. And then I got scared. I got really scared. I was like, what if we build it and they don't come? And I thought, and at the time I was working at a hotel again. I was kind of testing to see, I was done with real estate. I didn't want to do it anymore. And so I was like, what the hell am I going to do with myself? So I found myself a job in the hotel industry again. And so, but it was a contract. So it was a maternity leave cover. So there was an expiration date to it. So I still was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And we came up with this idea, got all excited about it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm scared. And so then I started applying for more jobs, or just looking into that, like maybe coming up with a plan for when my contract was over that was still in the hotel industry. And as I was doing that, I was paying attention to how I was feeling when I was looking for jobs in that industry versus planning opening a Pilates studio.
Yeah.
And I had like a bit of a yucky feeling when I was looking at the jobs.
Okay.
And I was excited when I was thinking about opening the studio, and scared. Obviously there was that like, sick feeling, but it was not a bad.
Yeah.
It was like excitement. And so it was actually January. I think it was the new year. Brady and I were sitting down, and like, we often will at around, New Year's Eve or whatever, we'll sit down and we'll write out some goals for the year and kind of talk about what we see, what we've envisioned for ourselves for the year as a family and as individuals. And that was when I said, like, you know what, I think this is what I want to do. So if you're good, like, let's go.
Yeah.
And then, so that was it. So it was January 2025. And then we opened June 16th.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then the hunt for the space, and then I've got to get all the reformers and make sure all that's aligned.
A lot of decisions that had to be made. It was a lot. Yeah.
Was there a point? So, because you go from, so again, incorporate, $1,500 or so, depending, that can shift, a logo that's, napkin and playing around and doing some different things, domain. So not a massive investment just yet. Once, now you secure a space, and then there's a lease obligation, all of that's coming. Was there a point in there, maybe the reformer, we're going to order these, because I could imagine the reformer tables, they're not inexpensive, we'll say.
Right.
Was there a point in there, cargo's getting dropped off, you've got the space secured, that you're like, oh boy, this might not work? And at what point during that journey, either between decision, yes, it's go time, we're going to do this, and doors open, maybe it's in there, or shortly after?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't remember there being a point where I thought this might not work. There were many points where I was like, am I gonna like this?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I tend to get bored easily. Okay. And that might be I don't know, an entrepreneur thing too. I don't know, but I tend to get bored easily. So I was like, I'm loving the planning part of this. And I loved every second of planning up to the opening.
Yeah.
And I was really worried. The only worry that I really had once I made the decision to do it, the only worry that I really had was that I wasn't going to like it once I got into the day to day.
Yeah.
That I was going to get kind of tired of teaching classes and running the business and all of that. But thankfully 1 year in, and I can tell you that I love it. So
yeah, I was going to say in owning a business, running a business, entrepreneurship, no day is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Really. I don't think. I could be completely off, but you get a call, this needs to be done. You got to do this, you got to do that. There's, there's scheduling, there's finding instructors, we're overbooked. Now, because overbooking could be a problem as well, I'm assuming. And we'll talk about that. Or at least, similar to you were on your journey. I want to try this, couldn't find anything. But let me ask you this, so during that time, doors open, what was the biggest risk you took to get the doors open?
Yeah, I mean, the financial risk for sure. It was, because these reformers are, 5,000 plus each. So, you're buying 10 of them. When you're buying 10 of anything, like I'll be buying these, $50 Pilates rings times 10.
Yeah.
It's not like nothing's cheap. So, that was pretty much it. I mean, it was mostly everything else, I'm not actually super risk averse at all. So let's try it and see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a lot. It was a big investment. So for sure that was the biggest risk.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So moving into, again, Reformer Pilates, a little bit newer. I don't know the exact dating on when it is, but Pilates has been around. Yoga's been around. Most people know yoga. For a lot of people that know gym setting, has it been difficult for people to understand what Reformer Pilates is, or is it still relatively new for a lot of people?
It's new for a lot of people. It's not really new, actually. I mean, Joseph Pilates, when he created the system, which he called Contrology.
Hold on. Let me stop you there. There's a person named Pilates. Is that where it came from? What the hell?
Yes. Yeah.
I did. Yeah. I thought this is just like, I never would have thought that. Okay.
Really? That's funny. No, it was invented by a man named Joseph, named Joseph Pilates.
Yeah.
Back in, it was around World War I, actually. So it was, So he designed it, and he designed it using all these different apparatus. So there's a few other pieces of apparatus that are used in the system as well.
Yeah.
We just happened to focus on the Reformer. So, but again, there you go. A lot of people don't know that.
I'm going to fire my research team, AKA me. I get all the bio, all the understanding of Nikki, the guest, but not the actual Joseph Pilates. I apologize to him and his family. I'm sure he's long past now, but wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and when he was around, it wasn't called Pilates. It was called Contrology. I always say it wrong.
Okay.
So, but then over the years, all the students that trained under him, have then, branched off and trained other people. And there's still people that have direct lines to him that have been trained by people who were trained by people who were trained by him.
Wow.
So the whole industry is very interesting if you really get into it. But yeah, so because it is, so it's not new, but it's new to a lot of people. And so, yes, explaining it to people has been, I wouldn't say challenging. It's been fun, really. I love showing people, or taking people through their first class. It's very cool to see people experience the apparatus for the first time and then talk to them after and ask them how they're feeling the next day. I try to follow up with everyone after their first class and say, hey, how you feeling? And a lot of times they'll be like, man, I feel great. A little bit of muscle soreness, but yeah.
Wow.
So
it's cool.
That's
cool. I like that. Where, how did you, so location. We learned this in real estate, right? Especially if you're working with commercial clients. Did that matter? Was that a decision maker or, deal breaker for you? Okay. And how did you land where you are?
We didn't want to be right downtown.
Okay.
That was a big one. Just honestly, parking has been a huge thing. And it has been even here a little bit of a challenge. We've had, the odd little thing, but this is such an easy location to get to. Once you've found it, it's not mapped properly on Apple Maps, which is frustrating. So some people do get stuck at the four corners down there, and then they have to kind of drive around and find it. And trust me, I've tried to fix that. That's something that is, I keep trying every once in a while, because it's a brand new building.
Right.
So it's just not pinnable.
Yeah.
But yes, that was a big decision maker, because you can find, there's a lot of spaces downtown that are available, and we didn't even consider it. But also we liked the landlord too.
Okay.
That was nice too, because that relationship is important. So yeah,
for sure. And I think that's, this is where, I've talked to so many, I've lived in Woodstock my entire life. I've been really close to a lot of the business owners, and sometimes I'll see certain businesses start, and it's clear to me that they haven't done a demographic. They haven't just research to understand who is their customer going to be, or their client, depending on what they're running. So in your case, obviously you understand your clientele and disposable incomes and what that looks like, which means chances are they're going to have a car. They're not going to be taking transit there. So, parking would be something that needs to be factored in. So it's smart. I think that some overlook that very crucial step, and they follow a passion, but they forget about the rest of it, which can be tough.
Or they get distracted by, a shine. I don't want to say it like that, but there's some really nice spaces in places that probably just, for other reasons aren't going to work.
Yeah.
But they're really nice. But, this was a blank slate, so we could make it what we wanted, which was appealing to us. We liked that we didn't have to tear down anything or anything. It was just an open space, and we could just kind of keep it simple.
Yeah.
People are here to do their workout. Doesn't need to be,
it's a very clean and inviting space. I think that's one thing that aesthetically, it's just like, okay, especially for me with my OCD and the way things are, when I walked in, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, this is good.
Okay, good.
Not a lot of stuff everywhere. I like this.
Well, yeah, we try. Don't look inside my car, because that's where that's where a lot of the stuff ends up.
Yeah, I was going to say, the lost and found's in my trunk. If anyone needs anything, it's in my trunk. I couldn't handle it in here anymore. Okay, so I'm really curious. Again, I had said to Brady, I'm like, do you think Nikki would come on, because I need more women representation on the podcast? Some are just like, no, I don't know. I'm a little shy with that. And I get it. I just want more women to be more outspoken about what they're struggling with or dealing with, because there's others that can heed advice potentially. Maybe it's a little kick in the pants to go, yeah, this is something you can 100% do. So let's talk a little bit about, one, you're a woman. Two, you're a wife. Three, you are a mother. How do you balance motherhood and entrepreneurship? Not just with, because it's one thing if one figurehead of the family is an entrepreneur, but you've got two. So from running a business, you're raising children, what does a typical day look like?
I wouldn't have been able to do this if my kids were younger. So they're 11 and 14. They can stay home. I don't have to arrange childcare for them anymore. I wouldn't have been able to balance this if they were younger. So let's just,
Sure,
be
but it's
real.
not without, but it's also not without its challenges. So
sure, no, I'm not. I'm not saying that at all.
But I get it. I get what you mean.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to come on here and be like, oh, anybody can do. No,
I've got two babies here. Look at me go, and
right. And some people can.
I don't know how they do it.
That was not my. I wanted to be able to be home, and I found it really hard. Even as a realtor during COVID, you couldn't during COVID, or being a realtor and having little kids was sometimes tough, but I would bring my kids to showings sometimes, and people do that. That happens.
Yeah. Want to buy a house? Look what you're supporting.
Right. But then COVID happens, and it's like no kids at all. So that pretty much shut down my business for that year. I couldn't do anything. My kids were only 5 and 7 at the time. So and I didn't have, at the time, I didn't have any family around to help with that.
Yeah.
My parents do live here now, but during that time they weren't here. So yeah, balancing it, it's just, You just go day by day with it.
Thank
I mean,
you.
my days,
Thank you. At least you're being honest. So many are like, well, I do this and I plan my day out and I've got this scripted from the night before and all my clothes are laid out. I've got my shakes ready to go and all this stuff. Finally, someone just goes, listen, I fly by the seat of my pants. Okay.
Yeah.
I make it happen.
It's like half and half, right? Like, I mean, we have our routines.
Yeah, sure.
I don't schedule myself much for the mornings because I like to be the one to get my kids their lunches made in the morning, get them on the bus. So
11 and 14. Come on, Nikki. They make their own lunch.
You've been talking to Brady. I know.
I'm just thinking when I was that age, it's like,
I know,
throw bread on the floor and here's your lunch.
My mom spoiled us and she made our lunches all through high school. And I loved that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I did too, up until probably like 2 years ago. All the kids got it.
Yeah. So Brady's the same though. He's like, you don't have to come home. Just, get them.
Brady's very militant though. We got chickens out back. Let them go kill a chicken and they can have a chicken sandwich for lunch.
Yeah, we balance each other out in that way. So yeah, I mean that there have always been like certain things where I'm usually home. Maybe one day a week they do have to make their own lunch. Whatever, like they can. They are able to do that. They do have the the ability to do that. But I like being the one to do that. So that's one thing. But then I mean, we just have to kind of Brady. I think maybe the key is just communication with your spouse. It's like we'll make sure we connect throughout the day and be like, all right, this is what we got going on tonight because the kids are both in sports. Colin does jujitsu and Gavin's in football.
Yeah.
And so it's like, all right, how are we working that? How are we working dinner? So that's it. It's day by day. My days all look different. I teach different classes throughout the week. My weeks don't look that different from each other usually. So they're pretty, consistent, but every day is a little different. So
that's cool though. That's good. It keeps it interesting probably.
It does. I don't do well with the same thing every day. I need some variety.
You've alluded to this.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I think, again, just with being around so many business owners for so long, CEOs, power brokers, like you name it. One of the things that it's not just women, it's parents in general. They'll sometimes struggle with, as a business owner, I have this guilt that I'm not giving enough time for my kids or my spouse or whatever. Has there ever been anything for you with that? And if so, how do you manage that?
Yeah. I mean, you can't do it all at the same time. You can do it all at different times. Like there are times when I'm a really good present mom, but then something else is probably I'm not doing the best at. So like when we were opening the studio, like this time last year, I was probably not around as much as I would have liked for the kids, but this was my priority at the time. And then, now I'm settled into kind of a day-to-day here that is a decent pace. So then I can be more present at home with the kids. And just my family in general. So I think it's like, I do think that the whole idea of balance is a myth, unless you're looking at it like really zooming out and, it's like this all the time. It's never just,
that homeostasis probably doesn't exist. I always say it's like a duck, right? You see nice and smooth on the top of the water, but their feet are just going a million miles a minute underneath.
Yeah. And I think that trying to pretend that that's possible or that that's normal or that's what you should be like it can just add stress. So I try not to worry too much when things feel very unbalanced because I know that nothing's permanent, this is not going to last forever. And so
that's
just get through this.
Understanding that I think is, thinking back to my days of G.I. Joe, it's half the battle, but it's true. It's really understanding that this is going to pass. It's a chaotic moment. Maybe it's a day, maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, but you're in control of that. Let me ask you this. Do the boys understand what you've built? And I don't mean, mom owns the Reform Room. I mean, the dedication, the time, the clientele, the instructors, what's being built. Do they understand that?
I think a little, like as much as kids their age would. Our youngest is a little more curious about things. Okay. So he's asked more questions. He seems to have a bit more of a business mind. So he's shown more interest for sure. Our oldest, I mean, I think because he's older, he understands too, but he just hasn't shown as much of an interest in the business aspect of things, but that's okay. You know, he will, I'm sure one day understand.
Or not, and that's fine
but
too,
that's
right?
okay. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it for them to be like, wow, look what you, you know.
Nikki, what's sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to lead into my next question, which is really, before I forget that, because I want to get into the business economics of things a little bit, but what's something that no one tells mothers or shares with mothers starting a business?
Oh, that's an interesting question. What's something that no one tells mothers starting a business? You're going to have to cut some dead air out here.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll play the Jeopardy music.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what people, I mean, maybe it's that it's better than you think it's going to be. Like a lot of people, when I was, you know, leading up to this, a lot of people said, oh, you know, owning a business is the hardest thing you'll ever do. It's, you know, your blood, sweat, and tears and all of this. And, you know, it's had its challenges for sure. Like, I'm not saying that it hasn't, but overall, it's been the easiest. I'm going to say easiest but I'm going to explain it so it's been the easiest thing that I've done, but I think it's just because I felt so aligned the whole time that I've been doing it. So coming up against all of the challenges that I have felt just less heavy.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like I'm trudging through mud to do this, where everything else I've ever done has felt hard because I wasn't passionate about it.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, and that doesn't really touch too much on the whole like mom aspect of it. But I think that balancing the family life with this has been not quite as challenging as I was led to believe it would be.
Right. And it could be partially your support system, but I think that you've somewhat answered it if I could draw from your previous responses, which is it's not everything's going to be planned out and perfect every day. And maybe it's a short season, maybe it's an hour, it's a day, it's a week, it's a month, but it will rebalance if you focus some energy back on that. And I think that, again, this comes back to your passion. If you are actually passionate about it, all that struggle then feels at least worth it. Whereas, you know, running a front desk at a hotel or whatever that might look like, or taking bookings, you know, it's like, okay, I'm a people person. Oh, okay. to what extent, right? Or what degree? How long does that keep you interested, I guess, is the question, right? And then, so I think everyone's question or answer to that question would be different. And I think that for those, some are a little deceived sometimes, right? Because, you know, anytime anyone's breaking out of the crowd, right? And the crowd is the paycheck that, you know, they give us, it's the pill that we swallow to kill our dreams, right? It's fine. And I get that. That's, you know, Chris and I talked about this last week, which is entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. It really isn't. No. And that's totally fine. The world wouldn't go around if every single person was an entrepreneur, right? And I think that from your perspective, or seeing that is, and I think you and everyone deals with this, is you're breaking apart from that. And it's, you know, business is tough. It's going to be, how are you going to get people through the door? You got to make sure bills are getting paid. And I think that's sometimes just jealousy input from others, wishing that they could be doing something as well. But obviously, again, being around Brady's an entrepreneur, you're risk adverse to a certain degree. That's a formula for success, really. But let me now just shift a little bit into the business and the economics of what that looks like. So small town economics is what I like to focus on, right? Woodstock is growing. I mean, we're not KW where you hail from, and you know, it's a much larger crowd or demographic to draw from. But what surprised you most about operating a wellness business in Woodstock?
I think about operating in Woodstock, I mean, I was surprised at how busy it's been, I guess. I mean, it isn't a huge city.
Yeah.
And when I was trying to get into these ones in London, like, it made sense. London has 500,000 plus people there.
Right.
We're 50,000, it's quite a bit less. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. You know what surprised me the most about this is I was expecting my clientele to be more like people my age and older.
Okay.
So millennials and older. There's a lot of young people coming here.
Okay.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
So that could be something. Like, yeah, I was a little surprised at how many people in their 20s are coming here.
Interesting.
I don't know why that surprised me, but for maybe it's because when I was teaching at Good Life, it was that those were the people that were coming to my class, people my age or older. So I was just expecting like those people to come here.
Yeah. The younger generations know everything.
Again, right?
We can't teach them anything. So
yeah. So, no, they're into it. They like it, and a lot of them are not like, because there is an element of, you know, the aesthetic with the Pilates, specifically the Reformer Pilates. So you know, the Pilates girlies, the matching sets and everything like that. And I have nothing against that, to be honest. Like, I think that's great. Like, if that makes you feel good, then good. Come, you're welcome. Yeah. But I think there's like some negativity towards those types of customers, because they feel like they're not serious. Oh. And they're just here for the selfie and the vibes. But that's not been the case. Like, they love it. They come and they feel great and they are progressing. And so, yeah, I mean, that's been a bit of a surprise was the younger.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's been really cool. I've enjoyed that.
That's cool though, because I think that there's been this weird shift where different generations, there was a lull in fitness in general, and then it seems that it's kind of picked up again. And I don't know if I'm just seeing that. I don't know if that's actually happening, where you've got anyone from 16 to, you know, late 20s that are the really diehard into fitness again. And you know, for me, I was kind of breakout in that, which is, you know, I was slugging tube at a factory when I was younger, and I'm reading muscle magazines, and then I'd hit the gym after. And that was my life at the time. And then the generations to come, it was like, working out. Nah, I'm good. And then now it's shifted again. I don't know if that's us as parents going, you need to work out. You need to take your fitness and health. I don't know.
I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the influencers. Maybe it's their algorithms or something. But they don't drink either. I don't think they party as much as we used to. And so they're here on Saturday mornings.
How did you do that? You should be sleeping.
I teach Saturday mornings, and I see these young kids come in, and I'm like, were you not doing what I was doing on a Friday night?
Yeah.
When I was your age.
Yeah. Or are you going to be okay on the Reformer today? You kind of smell like booze.
No, there's none of that really. Like, it's pretty crazy. Maybe that's the biggest surprise.
No doubt.
I don't know.
So with obviously, you know, having a certain clientele, booking those classes out, I would assume that Reformer Pilates isn't like a one-time experience, right? It's something where if you want to see the good that it's doing, it's, you know, not unlike jiu-jitsu or anything else, is you need to see the progression. How do you keep people coming back?
I think that the way that people feel is what keeps them coming back. And like, when I say that, I mean, physically, people feel better after doing these classes. Like, it just is the way it is. It makes your body feel good. It makes your joints feel good. You notice pretty soon after doing a few classes that you feel stronger, you feel more stable, you feel more flexible. Your spine moves better, your shoulders, your hips move better. So like, all of those things are what keep a lot of people coming back. They just, because if they miss a few classes, they start to feel it. They're like, oh, you know. But then also they like the environment. They like that it's not an intimidating place to come. It's scary to come for your first class anywhere.
Yeah, totally.
But usually though, when people come after their first class, they're like, they'll come back no problem, because they're not nervous to walk through the door anymore.
Right.
So that's been a thing. Like, there's nothing worse than going somewhere and feeling, you know, like you don't belong, or feeling like, oh, maybe, you know, you don't fit in.
Yeah.
And there's none of that. Like, we just have so many different types of people here, like all ages, all abilities. Like, it's really inclusive. So I think that keeps people coming back too. And I've had people that have like met people here that are now friends. Like
Yep.
they didn't know each other before and now they do. So they're making connections and there's a community being built. And so, yeah, I think it's a few different things.
Well, that's cool. I was going to ask about the culture and how you shape that, but I would assume that it's based on the clientele and who's showing up for the groups, and that kind of shapes it itself. But obviously leadership, ownership, that sort of thing also will influence the culture. So it sounds like it's a fun environment. Not unlike, again, you hit the nail on the head, is regardless of like group classes, there is an intimidation factor. It doesn't matter what it is. And
for sure.
Oh my God, am I going to be accepted? Well, these guys have been doing it forever. I'm not going to be able to do anything. How is this going to happen? So some of the biggest misconceptions, what do people get wrong about Pilates?
What do they get wrong? Well, I think a big one is they think that they have to do it perfectly or else they'll get hurt.
Okay.
And that's really not true. There are a couple ways you can get hurt. You could fall off the Reformer, and that, yes, that would hurt.
Yeah.
That does hurt. It's happened to me. I'll be in a class and I'm teaching something and I'm like, just make sure that this is, you pay attention to this because you could fall. And then I'll be like, ask me how I know. So yeah, there's that. And then the other way is if you have too much load on your exercise, which doesn't usually happen because we're monitoring what's going on, and we recommend the spring setting for certain exercises. So we tell people this is what springs to put on. We usually give them a range because people have different levels of strength. So, you want people to be challenged. So if someone's been coming for a year, they're going to probably be, working at a different level than the person who just started.
Sure.
So we give them a range, but you could, if you overload something, then you could hurt yourself that way. But again, we're watching to see, like we're watching for that.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not breathing properly, if you're not fully aligned, if you're a little unbalanced here, if you're feeling wobbly, you're going to be fine. It's, it's not going to be perfect your first class. You're probably, there's a lot to think about. I'm cueing breath, I'm cueing body part direction, I'm cueing alignment, in core engagement. There's all these things that I'm talking about. It's like pick one and focus on that for the class. And then the next time you come, maybe try to, because it is a lot. If you haven't been doing it, it's a lot to put together, but sure. It's okay because you don't have to right away. Yeah. It's fine.
Leave her the report card. Okay. Tom needs to work on this. Yeah. You got your breathing down, Tom. You did really good on the breathing, but there was 10 things. Nikki, there was 10 things. I got 9 wrong. No.
But the main thing is just getting them moving, especially people who haven't been, like a lot of people come in and they haven't been working out. They haven't really been doing much. Yeah. And so it's like, let's just get you moving. That's number one. That's the number one goal.
And I think that's with anything is get up from the desk, go walk, do some air squats, do some push-ups, like just graduate into something. I would think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it skews female demographic. But for men that tune in, men that are listening, maybe their significant other watches this and they're like, you see, I told you, you need to try this. What message would you have for men that are like, nah, that's a woman's thing. I'm not doing that.
Well, we talked about it earlier. It was created by a man for
Joseph Pilates.
Actually, Joseph Pilates. He created the whole thing. Yeah. We do have a couple men that come and they feel great. Like it's definitely not specific to women. There's a man would actually almost benefit more, especially men tend to be very tight in the hip area. And it's a very hip opening experience. And a lot of the movements do help with that. So and I think men tend to focus on exercises that are in one plane of motion. And I'm generalizing here big time. Yeah. But, if you're doing the big 3, a squat, deadlift, and a bench, you're moving in this, you're moving here, right? Yeah. You're not going side to side. There's not a whole lot. It's not very dynamic. Like, they're compound movements. You're using a lot of muscles, but like, you're not. So being able to, being able to put your body through different ranges of motion and targeting different muscles and getting your spine moving a little bit differently. Yeah. And then also creating more stability in the shoulder joint is a big one. A lot of guys have messed up shoulders too.
Yeah. Hi.
So, yeah. Because the shoulders, it's a shallow joint, right?
Yeah.
So it relies a lot on the muscles to stabilize it. And if you're just doing kind of the same thing all the time, then you're probably lacking a bit of stability there. So yeah, like for guys who lift heavy at the gym, it's definitely going to complement that.
Yep.
It's going to reduce your risk of injury big time.
Yeah.
And it's just going to make your body feel better.
Like
and then let's talk about jujitsu.
It's a complimentary to that.
Yeah. Like you guys, the thing is, it's all like, if you don't use it, you lose it. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the thing with jujitsu is like the opposite of the big 3 lifts, right? You guys are all over the place doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So you're going to already be ahead of the game coming on to one of these things because you're used to putting your bodies in these different positions.
Whether we like it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but again, like if your joints aren't stable and you're doing that, then your risk of injury is much higher.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Where this is what we work on. We put the joints through these different ranges of motion, with tension, an appropriate amount of tension.
Yeah.
And that's how you build that stability. So it's just super helpful I think for a lot of men, I see this as being more a complement to maybe some other activities that they like to do. And then for some men, a lot of women, this is what they like to do. They like to come to the Pilates classes 2, 3, 4 times a week because that's what they love to do.
Yeah.
And that's great too, so it can serve different purposes.
That's a big lead. And I think that's what draws a lot of people to things, right? Is people try to decipher jujitsu and any other form of martial art as well, where you're that close, and a lot of it is community, which, helps with mental health. And, now you have a purpose of getting out of the house and doing something rather than sitting behind a desk or whatever that might be. So, Nikki, I want to move into some quick fire questions. I like getting people's response on these. I've only done this with This is Woodstock and on my other pod. So I'm finding it very interesting. But first, before I get into that, what's a local business that you think deserves more attention or recognition?
That deserves more attention or recognition?
Yeah.
Well, you gave Chris some recognition last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Chris Seafood. That's a great place.
It's pretty close too. I mean, there's no excuse to not have seafood for you at night.
I know, right? He has these packs, 2 snack packs with shrimp and crab and their homemade seafood sauce.
Yeah.
And so I'll go there and get those because it's like a really good way to get a like high protein meal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's always so fresh. It's so much better than if you were to get it at, a grocery store.
Yeah.
I like it in there.
Yeah.
And I like going in there because I always end up there for longer than I plan because me and Chris end up chatting always.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I tell people about Chris all the time because people will be like, "Where's the studio?" And I say, "Well, do you know where Chris Seafood is?" They'll either be like, "Oh yeah," or they'll say no, and then I'll be telling them where Chris is and where I am. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I joked with Chris and I'm like, could you put it in a harder to find spot? Because I think I was at the market, this is probably 6 months plus ago before I'd even planned any of this. And he's like, just come by the shop and grab some. And I'm like, well, where's that? He's like, oh, I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's a strange spot, but I guess it doesn't matter, right? Nowadays it's about marketing and, not anyone's
It's actually
walking there,
so close to there's so many, the houses are right there. Like,
everything is built up around here now. Like when I can't even share some of the stories that happened on Hauser's Lane when I was a teenager. Like it was a bad area for us. We got many cars stuck in the mud.
Okay.
Anyways,
changed.
It's changed quite a bit. Okay, quick fire. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Morning workout or evening workout? Yeah.
Morning.
Morning. Okay. Yeah. Why?
I want to go to bed. If I work out in the evening, if I work out in the evening, I have a hard time falling asleep.
Okay. Favorite local restaurant?
639.
Did you hear Sam's moving on? Sam, so
I just heard that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to reach out to him and find out what's going on. Where's he going? What's he doing?
Yeah,
it's a great restaurant.
okay. So good.
Biggest business influence?
Probably my husband.
That's a good one. Yeah, he's a good. We were joking back and forth in the chat, and I said, "Oh my God, no sleep. I'm dumb, happy and mad, or what did I say? Sad and mad. I stayed up for the UFC Freedom 250 thing, right? I'm like, I'm not going to stay up and watch all of them. And then the fights just kept getting better and better, and I'm like, oh my God. And I think he called me poor thing.
Oh,
poor thing. I think he was being sincere and genuine about it.
Oh, maybe.
I hope he was. Brady, when you see this, I hope you were sincere and genuine about it. Because I think he said something about, I should have just stayed up. I couldn't sleep. And before I knew it, it was 1 a.m. anyways. I should have just got the fight. It was good. It was really
we both had a hard time sleeping last night. I think for me, I just have. So our oldest is on his grade 8 trip. He left this morning for that. So this whole, like we were talking about at the beginning, it's just been.
The one where Brady said specifically, make sure you talk about children and growing up. Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
One book every entrepreneur should read.
I think the book that everybody should read is The Alchemist.
Ooh.
But entrepreneurs, because it's about seeing the signs around you, and so it's a little, it's on the spiritual side.
Yeah.
But I've used things that I've picked up from that book to help guide me, on and help make decisions.
Yeah.
And I read that book every 1 to 2 years because it's quick. You can read it in a weekend.
There's a lot of little call outs in there, and there's something I can't remember the podcast. It's probably Diary of a CEO. It's my favorite. And one of the guests was talking about luck and how luck isn't a matter of luck, why people feel lucky or whatever. It's, it might have been Tony Robbins. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But they had asked the host, they said, on your way to work, how many red cars did you see? And they're like, I don't know. I have no idea. You probably have heard this, right? Or seen this even. And he's like, okay, but if I asked you to specifically count how many red cars you saw coming into the office or studio today, would you have been able to do that? And they said, well, yeah, of course. I've been looking for them. And they said, that's the difference, is that it's not, luck isn't air quote luck. It's a matter of you're looking for the signs, right? And whatever those little influences might be to help guide you or direct you into the direction. So therefore, those people that feel lucky or seem lucky, it's just they're paying more attention. So open your eyes, open your ears, pay more attention to what's going on around you. And it's, bringing it back to The Alchemist, there's very similar or a lot of similarities there, which is pay attention to what's going on around you. The universe will provide it. It's just, you just need to be aware. All right.
It's so true. And I think that this is why I read it so often, is because you get on autopilot and you kind of get in your own head.
Yeah.
About stuff, and it's you need the reminder.
Dwells within your own head, so
you need the reminder to kind of like get out of your own head and kind of into the world again. Get out of the phone too. God.
Yeah, I've taken it doesn't matter which day. I take 1 day a week off, no social. I don't even touch it anymore. I'm starting with that.
Yeah,
which is tough considering media companies are run on social nowadays. But I'm like,
but we should be able to take at least 1 day, right? People can wait. One day.
I call it my Sabbath now. It's my Sabbath. Yeah. Whether that's a Saturday, a Sunday, a Monday, I don't care. 1 day dedicated, not touching social. And I've even got friends will send me all these Instagram links and stuff. Check this out. This is funny. Check this. And I'm like, no, I don't touch it. It's my Sabbath.
Not today.
I'm not looking at it. But I do come back and look. So most underrated thing people can do for their health.
The most underrated thing. This is supposed to be quick fire. That's a tough one because it depends on who you are and what you need, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people say sleep for this one, and I think that sleep is so important, but I don't think it's underrated. I think a lot of people know, I think it's appropriately rated.
Yeah.
I do think maybe stress management, paying attention to your stress levels, and I think I think that a lot of people put themselves through very intense workouts when their lives are already stressful enough, and maybe they would feel better if they did something that was a little bit gentler on their nervous system.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking from experience right now.
That's a really good point. Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought of that like that. Yeah, the CNS is a real thing. People need to understand that. And I think it's, again, they get that algorithms, right? We're ruled by algorithms these days, and it's, you need to lift hard, you're getting older, osteoporosis sets in, hit the gym hard, and people go from sedentary typing at a desk to, I'm going to power lift today. Not realizing how much load and stress that can put on the CNS.
Exactly.
That's a really good point.
The other thing just kind of like it ties in with that is a lot of people are trying to eat less. Like, I mean, losing weight, I think eating enough food is also like an underrated, maybe paying attention to like to your nutrition a little bit more. And because under eating is also tough on the nervous system. So, fueling yourself properly. I know that, I'm not a big tracker. I don't like tracking too much because that stresses me out, to be honest. But I do track occasionally just to kind of like, just to set a baseline for myself. Like, okay, this is, just so that it's just information. And I know that when I'm eating a certain amount of calories and, protein also, then I feel better. Yeah. And when I feel better, I'm going to live my life I'm going to have healthier habits.
Yeah, for sure.
Cause I know for me, if my nervous system is not good, if it's stressed, I'm going to go to McDonald's.
It's quick and easy, feel good. Yeah.
I'm going to like, not, so yeah, I think that's good. That's not a quick answer.
It don't matter. I like playing with this because it just gives substance to understanding who you are as a person. Okay. This one will be good. And last one of this, and I've got a final wrap up question for you. If you could put one message on a billboard in Woodstock, what would it say?
Oh God. You should have sent me
Come to Reformer Pilates.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I did do that. And it didn't really do very well.
Billboards are tough. You got to remember, I went to ad school in in those days of seven words or less. You've got 3 seconds to convince. And I'm like, billboards don't really do anything nowadays. But what would that message be? There's got to be some sort of message. I love Brady and my kids.
Yeah. I mean, I would do that. That's hard. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Come to Reform Room. Try it out.
Just give it a try. Men. Come to Reformer Pilates at the Reform Room. Yeah.
I mean, I guess just like, don't be scared to try it. Yeah. Don't be scared. There's nothing to be afraid of.
I think that's a good message.
It's fun.
Okay.
It's fun.
So Nikki, 5 years from now, your kids are listening to this episode, hopefully watching as well. So people forget that there's, Spotify has video now too. Anyways, so they're catching up. Mom was on this podcast called This is Woodstock. What do you hope that they will learn from watching this about you building the Reform Room?
I hope that they learn that how awesome it was. And hopefully that aligns with their memory of going through that as a family.
Yeah.
Which I think it does. I mean, there was a lot of excitement in the air at home when this was all kind of coming together.
When all the reformers are arriving. There's another U-Haul coming. It was
Yeah. I think I hope that they would watch this and think like, oh, that's nice. Like it was a good time. Like, things were good. Yeah. That's good. And hopefully by then we've grown, which you heard it here first. We are going to be growing soon.
Yeah.
Details to come, but yeah. So yeah, I think that they would I would hope that they would just watch it and think like, yeah, that's nice. It was a good time, and
that's good.
And yeah.
But that's all. But that's all it needs to be, which is the most powerful, right? Which is understanding we went through this because 5 years from now they're looking around and there's a franchise location near them. 100 locations in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No stress.
Ambitious.
Stay away from McDonald's. Go over to Chris's Seafood. It's fine. You're seeing us.
Yes. Go get a snack pack from Chris. Yeah. Don't get a double cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, listen, Nikki, it's been great catching up and having you share your experience of building the business out and operating successfully. It's there. I know support as much as I can, but I appreciate you joining and sharing.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me on. It's been fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I